Hi everyone, welcome to Steph Made That, the podcast, the official rebrand. If you guys are on this channel, you can click and see that I started this podcast a while ago. And unfortunately, there was only one episode, but I just got so busy with school and work and life and things going on that I was not able to continue the series. Well, plot twist, I just graduated university. I'm now degreed. And I've got much more time to continue this podcast. And so I figure, why not bring it back? This is my first official podcast of the new start of Steph Made That, the podcast. I just said podcast like 5 times. Okay. I'm super excited to bring the podcast back. If you guys know me in real life, you know that I love talking about stuff, and this is the perfect outlet for me to talk about stuff. So you can only imagine how great this podcast is going to be for me. And I hope that you guys enjoy watching me talk about the things I love, the things I'm making, the things I'm watching, the things I'm doing. I'm just so excited to give you guys this part of my life. But enough about me just being excited to start the podcast. Let's actually get into the podcast. First, I'm going to start with probably the thing that you came here for, finished objects. So first up, ignore the ends that need to be weaved in, please and thank you. We are not here to judge. This is a safe space. The baby blanket that I've been working on, if you follow me on Instagram, then you've seen it on the grid already. But this cute little Tunisian crochet squares baby blanket, I haven't fully decided on a name yet, but I think I'm genuinely going to go with the baby blanket for the name of it. We'll see. When it gets released, you'll see what name I decided on. But this blanket, I'm actually over the moon about. It came out exactly as I pictured. It's made from 24 Tunisian crochet squares. There's like some simple color work to create these arrows. Then it's all seamed together on the back. I happen to think the back looks super cool with all the seam lines because you can really see all the hard work you put in. You guys can see I changed my color at all my seams, so that's why the ends aren't weaved in. It's because I have a million ends to weave in, probably like 40 ends to weave in. Oh my god, I don't know why I said that out loud. The border is Tunisian crochet in the round. This is my first time doing Tunisian crochet in the round, and it actually came out so super cool. After I block this blanket, you'll definitely be able to see it better, but like those corners, yum. Those are some beautiful corners. I'm super pleased with the way that this came out. When this blanket comes out, if you do buy the pattern, just keep in mind that tension is really important with this blanket because you make squares and then you seam together the squares, and then you have to create your border around these new squares. Like, how do I explain it? Tension is important because you're not, like, these squares are not joined as you go, they're seamed, and so technically there's a space right here where the seam is, so you can't just work across, you know, follow the instructions in the pattern to make sure your border comes out really nice and smooth. Is that, yeah, that's what I mean to say. Okay, yeah. So that's the baby blanket, hopefully releasing sometime late next month or early August. My next finished object is a plant hanger that I made for my baby Martha. She's really big. I'm trying to figure out, I'll just bring her over here so you can see it, because why am I talking about an object you can't see? Purse first. Walk into the room, purse first. Ew. This is Martha. Ooh. She goes on for miles, y'all. Martha is 3, 2019. Oh my god, Martha's like 4. Whoa! Martha's 4 years old, you guys. Her birthday is June 1st, 2019. So this is super cool. But this is Martha's hanger. I might throw up the sketch, I might not. We'll see how I'm feeling when I edit this. But this plant hanger is literally something out of my dreams. I've been thinking about this hanger ever since last year when I first intended to make it. As you can see, it's got this really cute keyhole design, which I really wanted because Martha is a big girl, as you can see, and I really wanted these like windows almost where you can see her. Then I also think it's really cool how the straps come up and they connect into one uniform like hanging strap. It's really cute. I think this is something that you could totally like see in Marshalls and like go buy it. I love this hanger. And there will be a pattern coming soon. I just need to finish writing it, make another sample, and get it in testing, and you guys will have a hanger for your beautiful babies coming soon. I'm just so happy with this hanger, you guys. I can't wait for this pattern to get released so you guys can enjoy it too, because this is the plant hanger of my dreams and hopefully of Martha's dreams. If she could talk, I'm sure she'd say that she loves it too. As far as finished objects go, those are the only two things that I've had the time to finish since I've been home. Being that it's been less than a month, that's a good amount of projects. I'm very proud of myself for that. But before I go into my WIPs, let's talk about what's new in my life. Obviously, I graduated. I'm back home. I just graduated from the illustrious Delaware State University with a Bachelor's of Arts in Mass Communications. Marketing, advertising, TV, radio, film, things like that. That's what I got a degree in. Essentially, I'm now a professional creative, so I got my degree in 4 years, which that was very hard. So I deserve that pat on the back. I went into it freshman year, not taking college as seriously as I probably should have. But after freshman year, when I got all the fun and the freedom and I'm finally independent, once I got it all out of my system, I was a lot more ready to take it seriously and buckle down. And I worked really hard these past 4 years to get that degree. So I'm very proud of myself for not only doing it in 4 years, but actually doing it and completing it and walking across the stage with a degree. Like, what? That's so cool. Yeah, that's just so cool. I'm very proud of myself. I graduated with honors. And also, I'm not coming off as like braggy or anything. If you feel like I'm bragging, I'm so sorry, but I worked really hard for this degree, so I'm going to celebrate it. I graduated with honors. I had 2 internships during my time at school. I was on the TV station where I had a bunch of shows with some awesome co-hosts. I got to meet lovely people. I even got recognized by the president of my school on multiple occasions for my work on the television station, which is just even cooler. Like, I worked really hard. You guys. Like, I can't even put into a succinct little 5 minutes how hard I worked, but I worked really, really hard. I'm really happy about it. And let me know if you guys want me to, like, in the next podcast episode, actually go a little bit more in depth into my college experience and anything like that. I'm so happy to answer any questions that you guys have about what it was like at DSU. But yeah, we're gonna wrap that up because I could talk about graduation forever. Like, it was only a few weeks ago, and I still haven't gotten over the fact that I'm like a real adult now. Not that you're not a real adult if you don't go to college, but I just mean, like, I got out of high school and immediately went straight into college. I started that summer, so I was only home for like, I think it was 3 weeks after I graduated from high school, and I was back in school again. So I'm like, I'm 21 now. I don't have to go to school again. I might, but I don't have to. I'm adulting now. It's official. I'm adulting. I'm adulting now. Crap. But yeah, let's wrap the graduation segment up. Let me know if you guys want to hear more about that. Yeah. But since graduating, I've been home. So now I gotta find a job, which is gonna be scary. It's gonna be very scary. I'm looking forward to it though. One thing about me is I very much enjoy working because I enjoy helping people and I enjoy meeting people. So I'm honestly looking forward to finding a job. I may or may not update you guys on what job I get if I do get a job, just depends on what it is. But yeah, that's something that I'm looking forward to doing in these next, hopefully 2-ish weeks. I'll start applying online for jobs. But also being home, I'm back in my area, my workspace. We're seated at my desk right now. You can tell because of my corner. Please ignore my corner, you guys. This is it's a mix of abandoned WIPs and current WIPs. We don't need to mention it because it looks a mess back there. If you think that's a mess, imagine what my desk looks like. Yeah, I'm back in my workspace, in my area. I am busting out a whole lot of patterns. Besides the baby blanket and the hanger, we've got quite a few WIPs to talk about. So let's do that. Let's get into the WIPs, y'all. I don't know about you guys, but when I watch knit or crochet podcasts, my favorite part is the WIPs. Like, finished objects are cool and all, but I want to see what's taking your attention right now. I want to see what you're obsessed with right now. So we're going to talk about what I'm obsessed with right now, which are my WIPs. I've got 4 that I'm going to show you, even though there are a few more. I'm trying to keep some of them secret. Some of them won't be done for a little bit, so we'll just talk about what we talk about. But first, I want to talk about a pattern test that I signed up for, and I'm very grateful that I got chosen. If you guys follow Cosmaudi on Instagram, Cosmaudi, her name is Andrea, and she's a very, very talented designer. She makes some really cool stuff. If you guys don't follow her already, I'll put her in the description, and you guys should go follow her. But I got selected to test her Yolanda Shirt pattern, and I'm going to be using this rainbow color-changing yarn from Hobbii.com. This is the Cotton Kings Sultan in the rainbow ball, obviously. I got 2 of these to make my shirt out of, and it's going to be a really cute little pride moment. I'm super excited. The shirt is like a lacy diamond pattern, button down, summery, you know, you get the vibe. And I'm very excited to make this shirt. One thing, like a little known fact about me is I typically stay away from color changing yarn just because not being able to control the colors does give me a little bit of anxiety, because I mean, random colors is cool and all, but if the final product ends up not looking good, I just wasted all that time. But hopefully this shirt gets me out of that comfort zone. I'm very excited. I just want a rainbow shirt. I think the all over color is gonna make sense. So yeah, I will update you guys on how that goes. It'll be fine. I just gotta loosen up. I gotta relax. It'll be all right. The next whip I want to talk about is a pattern that I'm hoping to release before the end of the summer. We'll see how that goes because I have other things to work on and I've been a little busy, but I'm making a Hexagon shirt, which is super exciting. I've never made one of these before. I almost did a few years ago and I ended up not liking the way it was turning out, but I'm making one now that I want to start as a pattern to release in the future. I'm going for, I feel like every time I tell someone what I'm going for, it doesn't make sense. Like, if you know, you know, but, you know how, like, designer shirts are, like, kind of ugly? Like, you know, like Versace, like, the really gaudy, like, chain link print. Like, I'm going for something that's kind of ugly, kind of cute, you know? So, it's, this is worsted weight cotton yarn, and I'm going to make it, essentially, this is going to be a button-down shirt, like I want it to fit, so it's gonna be like a fit, like not fitted, like not tight, but like not loose and baggy. So it's gonna be a button-down shirt. It's got like this cool little 2-tone rainbow moment as a stripe in the center, and then I'm going to do the collar, the button band, a little bit of the cuffs, a little bit of the bottom hem, in a bright, okay, where's my yarn? Hold on, hold on. I can't tell you about it if I can't find it. What? It's not an SOS yet because I gotta make a lot more progress before I even get there. But the collar, the button band, a little bit of the cuffs, a little bit of the bottom hem, I'm gonna do in a blue color. It's not this blue. I was originally gonna use this blue because, fun fact, this is a Stash Buster pattern that I'm making. I was gonna do it in this blue because I have a little bit of this blue, but I'm learning from making this that there isn't quite enough yarn in these balls. This is Hobbii Rainbow. That's what these colors are. This is Dishy from We Crochet, and this is Hobbii Rainbow. So is this Hobbii. I don't know where the disconnect just came from. But I had a different ball of a different blue. It's Lily Sugar and Cream, and I want to use that ball because I just want to make sure that I have enough to actually keep all of that the same color, just for the sake of continuity, just to make it feel like a whole finished piece. When I run out of yarn, I'm just continuing on with this main body color. I don't really mind that. This is gonna be on the back. It's a Stash Buster pattern. It's fine, whatever. I just want the front to look continuous, seamless. I don't know what the word I'm looking for is, but I just want the front to be, I want it to make sense. I want it to make sense. Gosh. I'm very excited for this Hexagon shirt pattern. Mostly because I really want to wear it. If you guys know me, you know I love a good bright color. I love something fun and eye-catching. So I think this shirt is going to be super cool. And like, hear me out with the, I know it's going to be really colorful and real contrasty, but like, you see like, do you see the vision? Like if there was like, you know, like 2-3 blue rows at the end. You'll see it when it's done. It's going to be cute. Trust me and trust the process. Just trust me, okay? It's going to be really cute. So that's another WIP. The next WIP I'm going to talk about is actually something that I want to release in fall. I started making this shawl just because I had this ball laying around and I was bored. I didn't have a knit WIP. This is currently one of 2 knit WIPs that I have. We're not going to talk about the other one because it might not end up doing anything. But this is going to be a shawl for the fall time. Wow, you cannot see that on camera. So basically it's like garter tab cast on with the garter edge. It's knit with like a simple slip stitch spine. And then I'm gonna do different rows of, like garter stitch and this cool braid technique that I found on Instagram because of Xandy Peters. Essentially, it's like knitting a crochet chain through your knitting. And you're probably like, oh, well, how is that different from a braid stitch? I'll link the video down below. You'll see how it's different from a braid stitch. It's almost exactly like if I did surface crochet through this shawl. It's not, I'm not knitting this, I am knitting the braid, but I mean like this braid is completely independent of my stitches. Like I can move the braid around because I don't know how to explain it, but it's very cool. I'm just gonna link the video down below because I'm gonna do a horrible job explaining it and you guys are gonna be so confused. Just go watch the video. Truthfully, I'm probably gonna frog it and start it over just so I can plan it a little better, but I really like this color and I really like this idea. I was thinking I'd be going for like just something big you can wrap up in. It's that fisherman's wool, so you know it's got that nice texture on it. So yeah, I'm very excited for this to come out in the fall. I just got to finish my other WIPs so we can give this one the full attention that it needs. And she lives in this pile, so we're gonna put her back in the pile. And last but not least, we're gonna talk about my 4th WIP, which is one of 2 kind of secret holiday projects that I'm working on. I say kind of secret because it's not actually a secret. Like I can talk about it, so I'm gonna talk about it. The other one though is also not a secret, but I'm not gonna talk about it because it's a bigger project and I just wanna make sure that I'm not running into any hiccups. I don't need to change anything before I talk about it. But this first one I'm super excited for. This little ditty is going to become a pillow. I collaborated with Hobbii yarn to make a holiday item, and this is going to be the Peppermint Pillow, or Patty's Peppermint Pillow. I haven't decided on the name. I kind of like the idea is it's going to look like a peppermint. It's a red and white swirl. As you can see, it's got this super cool starting technique, and it's almost like, if you're familiar with helical knitting, which is basically like, if you were to knit like this, you know, like your strings never touch, your yarn never touches, but you're working around in a spiral with 2 different starting points. It's kind of like that, but in crochet, you know, like helical crocheting. I thought it was a super cool technique, and I thought that the red and white would make it look kind of like a peppermint. And so there's going to be 2 big circles. They're going to be seamed, and you make your little insert or buy a pillow insert, and you got a pillow. So yeah, this will be coming out at some point during the holiday season with Hobbii yarn. And ignore the wrinkles. It's a pillow, and you see, like, it'll lay flat. It'll lay flat. Just trust me. Just trust me. Once you block it and all that good stuff, just trust me. It'll be great. It'll be great. You'll see in the upcoming months as this pillow progresses, and hopefully in those upcoming months, I will be able to show you my other super secret project that is coming out for the holiday season. The last thing we're going to talk about for this podcast episode is yarn. As I've said a million times, I'm finally back home because I graduated college. If I can just get that out the way. Yes, I graduated. I have a degree. Cool. I am back home in my yarn, in all of my yarn. So I've been going through my stash and I've found some yarns that I have re-fallen in love with. Obviously, with all the WIPs and finished objects I just showed you guys, I don't have time to do anything with them, but I will get to that hopefully soon because these are yarns that I am loving. I just got back home and they're around me, so we're just gonna talk about the things that I'm seeing that I love. Oh, it's cute. It's cute. I know it's cute. I know it's cute. This right here, this beautiful, 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 oh my gosh, this beautiful, beautiful cake right here is Serendipitous Wool. I don't have the tag anymore to show you guys, but this is Serendipitous Wool in the color Lotus Lake. The ball band is up here somewhere. I don't feel like looking for it, but just trust me. This is Serendipitous Wool in Lotus Lake. I was very, very graciously gifted this yarn from Shoba herself, and it's been just sitting in a hank for the longest time. When I got back from school, this is one of the first things that I caked up because I need to use this. I have no clue what to make with it, but I need to use this yarn. It is beautiful. I wish you guys could see it in person. It's got like greens and blues, and there's little like dots of yellow, and there's little bits of speckles in here, and it just, this is beautiful. This is beautiful. Y'all, please check out Shoba. If I can find this yarn specifically on the website, that's the link I'll put down. If not, I'll link her Instagram. But this is beautiful. And I also happen to have this, which is a ball of Highland wool from Hobbii. And I was thinking they'd be super cute together in like a shawl or something. Whatever I make, I need to use this whole ball. So this is just like supplementary at this point. But this, she's the focus. She is the moment. But yeah, I thought these were super cute together. So I was going to pair them together and find some time to knit a shawl, hopefully. I doubt that I will have time to knit a shawl, but if I do, you will see it. And the last yarn that I want to talk about is this bag of Color Theory minis. I got this, also ignore this in here, that's nothing, that's getting frogged. Anyways, this bag is the Color Theory minis pack from lionbrand.com. If you guys know me, you know that I love Color Theory yarn because it is great yarn. I actually have a bunch of balls of it sitting on my desk right now. I love this yarn. I'm not gonna lie, beyond new releases and beyond, you know, what's hot or whatever, Color Theory is legitimately one of my favorite yarns ever. Like, top 3, it's not number 3. It's either 1 or 2, but I would have to think about what's number, so I guess it's number 1. Color Theory is my favorite yarn of all time. I love this yarn. If you guys have never used it before, it's very different from other yarns that I've seen on the market. I actually don't think I've ever seen anything like this in the US market. It's like this, I don't know much about twists and plies and all that stuff, but this yarn is very silky smooth. It's super squishy. It's super stretchy, actually. This yarn is crazy stretchy. Like, okay, you can't see it now, but it's like, if you make something with this, it's gonna stretch a lot. Like, I'm doing the worst job advertising this yarn. I'm so sorry, Alexi, but this yarn is beautiful. If you don't know, Color Theory is a collaboration with Alexi from Two of Wands and Lion Brand, and they just make bangers together. I also have some the baby blanket from earlier is Hue Me, which is the first collaboration with Alexi and Lion Brand. But Color Theory is the second collaboration, and if they make another yarn, y'all, somebody might need to take my wallet from me because this yarn, I can't talk about it enough. This is literally the best yarn ever, like in the world, in the universe, ever created. This is the best yarn ever. The colors, there's great colors, although I will say, Lion Brand or Alexi, if you're watching, can we get some brighter colors, like something more poppy? Like, I would love for this to be like the new Red Heart Super Saver, in the sense that this is the go-to yarn that's everywhere, that everyone uses. I love this for like more mature apparel, you know, home decor, things like that. But what about like baby blanket colors or things that are a little more young, a little more youthful? Like, I know you've got Bee Pollen, which is the bright yellow, or like I believe Provence is that lighter lavender color. There's definitely some colors in there, but could we get like a bright green, maybe a bright red, you know, things like that. Just things that make it more versatile, things for more applications. You can use it in more applications, yeah. But beyond that, there's already like, oh my god, there's already 18 beautiful colors. And I know that because the Color Theory mini pack is all 18 of these beautiful colors. You guys, like, look at this yarn. This yarn is amazing. I can't talk about it enough. I'm obsessed with Color Theory. And I really want to make something with these minis. Originally, I wanted to make like a bed skirt or like a table runner. That didn't come to fruition, as you can see. But something will be made out of these Color Theory minis because I genuinely covet this bag of minis so much. When I do make something with this, I just want it to be perfect because I am obsessed with this yarn. And I'm sure Color Theory minis are not going to exist forever, even if they're, I don't even know if they're still on the website because I got this a few months ago. But whatever I make with these, it's got to be the best thing I've ever made, okay? I don't know, like, Lion Brand, you created a banger. You made a wave, and I'm riding the wave. You created an absolute banger. You two are like this. And I'm being so serious. Honestly, Color Theory is the best yarn ever. The best yarn ever. And those minis will get turned into a project. You'll see. You'll see. You'll see. Last thing, before I go, I just want to mention that I am a fan of Survivor. This morning, I just finished Survivor 44, and on Friday, I will continue watching RuPaul's Drag Race All-Stars 8. So those are the two shows that I'm watching. I'm going to go back and watch more Survivor because I'm really loving that show, actually. I didn't think I'd be a Survivor person, but growing up with my grandma, we watched a lot of Jeopardy and a lot of Amazing Race, so it's only natural that I would be into Survivor. And I like RuPaul's Drag Race, which is basically gay Survivor, so like I'm just on the Survivor kick, yeah. And I personally would have played the game a little bit differently, as if I was someone else. One thing I would have did, and this would have been very gaggy, but when I think it was Heidi or Jamie, it was someone who played the control the vote. When they controlled Lauren's vote, I would have made Lauren vote herself out. One, you can't tell me that wouldn't have been gaggy. Two, I think that would have changed the game crazy. Like, I think, one, that is such... Although I will say that would put a huge target on my back to show that I am just straight up power playing like that. But they can write anyone's name down, and that's never been done before, I don't think. So that would have been a super cool move to make. I would have voted out Jam Jam much earlier because he was a heavy hitter. He was a very strong player. I would have voted out... I think I would have voted out Carson. I mean, I would have voted out Carson before Jamie because I think Carson would have been a very good jury member, and I think Jamie would have been very easy to beat. I also really want to applaud Heidi for giving up her immunity real quick to set the fastest fire making record in Survivor history. That is very impressive. Okay, Heidi, she said, I want to prove to y'all that I got what it takes, that I deserve to be here. And she said, hold my flint real quick, Jeff, okay? Like, yeah, that's, okay, Heidi. She ate that real bad, real bad. Heidi just, she ate that, okay? And then just talking about Drag Race real quick. This is going to sound so shady because I'm just jumping into the drama, but like, oh, spoiler alert. Right. Why did Heidi leave? No offense to Heidi, you know, like I understand, you know, emotions are high, it's Drag Race, but maybe it's because I'm also from New York, but I don't think Candy Muse is all that scary. We're at Drag Race, it's not like she's gonna hit you, so what are you scared about? But also like Alexis in that moment did bug me when she's like, that's not what was said. Because just based off that reaction, that tells me that that was what was said. So you should have been honest instead of lying, because either way, I know the truth, and now I also know that you're playing a phony game. Right. I don't understand why Heidi left, simply because I didn't think the drama was that big of a deal. Nobody was attacking her. Nothing was going on. I feel like if that made you leave so easily, then why'd you agree to be on the season? But once again, I am just a viewer from home, and that means that I know everything because I'm just a viewer from home who can't mind my business, okay? Right. I'm putting that out there because I know potentially someone will get in the comments and be like, oh, you think yada 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 yada. I see the tweets that Katie makes. I understand it's Drag Race. Everyone's not perfect. It's a competition. It's stressful. Yada yada. I understand. I'm just saying. Yeah, I'll leave it there. I'm just saying. But yeah, that is episode 1 or 2, depending on how you want to consider it, of Steph Made That, the podcast, the official rebrand. Yeah, if you guys enjoyed it, let me know down below. Once again, let me know if you guys want me to talk about more graduation stuff in the next episode. Let me know if there's anything you want me to talk about in the next episode. And also let me know if you guys enjoyed this first episode. I know it was a bit all over the place. I'm going to blame the caffeine and my poor note-taking because that's not a very organized list of what I was going to talk about today. But yeah, I really enjoyed this episode. So expect episode 2 to come soon. I'm Stefan from Steph Made That. Thank you guys for watching. Adios.